zone. They wasn't good on third downs. The offense kind of looked. It wasn't too much of a difference from what we seen with Jason Garrett last year. And I was looking for some different nuances, and I wanted to see different concepts and some sort of an offensive explosion. But it was kind of I won't say it was basic, but it was like what we're accustomed to seeing. They got to put it all together. They got to find a way to just put drives together, finish drives, and not stall out, because against good teams like the Los Angeles Rams, you got to score points. Three's not going to do it, especially if you got Aaron Donald and you got Jalen Ramsey on the edge, superstar guys that you got to beat throughout the course of the game. When you get those moments, you got to take advantage of it.
Yeah, the Dallas needs to be more versatile and more multiple, and it was a fairly simplistic offensive game plan. And I agree with you; they've got to kind of be more dynamic. There's just too many great offenses right now in the NFL.
Yes,
so Tom Brady's debut, what did you make of it?
I thought it was fair. Obviously, the 2 turnovers was crucial points in the game where. The one that Janoris Jenkins it was deflating. I think that was a swing that Tom just couldn't shake back from. But ultimately it's a team game. It's collective effort. So we need more out of Grump. We need more out of Mike Evans. We need Leonard Fournette to turn up and do his thing. But I put my trust in Bruce Arians. I know he's a great study of the game. He's a problem solver, and him and Tom Brady have worked throughout the week to make next week right. So I'm not going to panic on him right now, but the next game is very crucial.
So go back to your first start in the NFL. I say you got to grade sometimes in life. You got to grade people on a curve. What are they dealing with? Where are they from? How much support do they have? I thought Joe Burrow looked pretty strong, Michael. I thought he looked pretty strong. Your thoughts?
I've been impressed with Joe Burrow since he left LSU. I loved everything he did in college, and I wanted to see how that would relate to the pros. And, yesterday was, I think the Cincinnati Bengals fans have to be excited about what they're seeing in Joe Burrow, because that's one of the tougher defenses that he's going to face all season, especially with Joey Bosa lining up on the edge. So he was able to, not, sustain drives and, put it all together. It is his rookie debut. But, he made some plays at the end of that game, and they should have won that game. But he showed toughness. He showed poise. He was calm, cool, and collective, and he put his team in a position to win. And as a coach, that's all you want. You want a quarterback who, understands the game plan, knows what he's doing, and can go out and execute it. And Joe did that on all levels yesterday.
So, we can't overreact to week one. I mean, you well know this. Sometimes you come in with a bunch of injuries. Sometimes you got new coordinators. You can't overreact to stuff. Listen, the Miami Dolphins are a rebuilding team, and Ryan Fitzpatrick struggled. But there are some positives. I mean, New England, they ran the ball more. I mean, they just look like a completely different offense. What did you make of Cam's debut?
I liked what Cam did yesterday, and I knew it was coming. I knew they was going to be run-oriented. He only threw the ball 18 times, completed 15 passes. That goes to show that it wasn't expensive. The game was going to be won, by Cam and the running backs, and everybody else had to do their job and just compliment, what they was doing in the run game. And that's Bill Belichick's style of play. Like, I think if he could play that type of game consistently throughout the course of the season, he'll do it. If he can get away with taking advantage of teams in the run game, he's going to do it. And now he got a second running back in the backfield with Cam, who can take off and be explosive himself. So, I expect the game plan to broaden from here. I know the competition is going to get stiffer. So if the game plan got to change. It was the Miami Dolphins, 3 turnovers by Fitzpatrick. It's not going to happen every week. So they need to look at this game, this upcoming week versus Russell Wilson as, it's going to be a bomb burner. It's going to be a shootout. They have to take advantage of everything that comes their way. So it'd be really interesting to see how Cam reacts this week and how different the game plan is from last week.
You've told me your favorite coach of all time was Andy Reid, and I want to go back to Thursday night with Patrick Mahomes. He was really wickedly efficient. And just your thoughts. We knew he was a gunslinger, but he went really surgical on Thursday night. And what was your interpretation of what you saw?
Oh, man, just a guy in year 4 who gets it, who understands the game even more than he did, year 2 and 3. Year 2, he won the MVP. In year 3, he wins the Super Bowl. Year 4, he comes out and looks even better in his debut. And, I just got to give props to Andy, man, in terms of, finding another good running back. Called Edwards-Helaire, who stepped in and he almost looked like a Brian Westbrook. And, that's just the catalyst to success, in the National Football League. When you can put a good back, in the backfield, you can neutralize the defense. And Patrick, he exemplified that in every way. The run game was going, and he just did his thing in the passing game, just throwing dots. His precision is amazing.
Yeah.
And his vision, the way he sees the field, he can make every throw, but you got to see it before you throw it. And he see it before it even happens. And Andy loves guys with great vision. I tell you that. We had that conversation. Patrick's vision is just on another level, and his anticipation.
Yeah. Michael Vick, it's great talking to you. By the way, I'm from the Pacific Northwest. You played in Atlanta. I thought Russell Wilson yesterday, Michael.
Amazing.
Honest to God, Michael, I don't even know. That was flawless.
Russell, like fine wine, he's getting better with time. He's one of the guys, he's going to age really well in the National Football League. And he'll play until his 40s. He got the body size. He got the smarts, man. Good things for Seattle. They can continue to build around Russell.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, Mike, good talking to you. Michael Vick is George Jackson. You see him and you're like, oh, he looks a little bigger than I thought. Joe Burrow put on some upper body weight. He's a little quicker and more elusive than I thought he would be. He's clearly trained for this and put a lot of hours in. I thought he looked really good. He gave himself a D, which I love because he's humble. I thought it was a B to a B-plus performance. That's what a franchise quarterback looks like. That's what they look like. And I'll tell you something. That last drive, these are against great great corners, great edge rushers. He'd been hammered on the day. He threw for almost 200 yards. He rushed for 46 and a touchdown. He'd gotten his lunch handed to him. He had a bad late fourth quarter turnover. All that could get into his head. Nothing. They gave him the ball in the last drive. He marched right down. He was cool. He was calm. He was poised. His feet were good. He wasn't locked in on one receiver. Tyrod Taylor, the veteran, to me yesterday was too often locked in on one receiver. Burrow, the kid, was not. I could sit here today and bang on him. He had a 66 quarterback rating and a terrible late game turnover. I thought he was really good. He's a much better prospect than Baker Mayfield. I believe after watching him yesterday, he's not as erratic, although mistake-prone a little yesterday. He's got more ups. Maybe, I don't know the upside. He looks better than Darnold, who's still making dumb mistakes. Baker still feels like the same guy with a fourth coach. If that's the opening act for Joe Burrow, that is a good opening act. He never looked nervous. And remember, he won't face the rest of the year corners that good. Those corners for the Chargers, they got 3 guys that can play. 3 guys that have made a Pro Bowl. I think 2 or 3 are still in their prime. So, tip of the cap. I thought he was good. And by the way, I said this before. When I compared him to Tony Romo is a A-, B-plus quarterback. Tony Romo's a good player. Y'all dogged him for a year. I swear to God, when I was at the other company, all I did was defend Tony Romo. He looked like a Tony Romo. He can move. He's prone to an occasional big mistake, but he's kind of a gunslinger. He's athletic. He moves well. He's got a nice arm. Not a great arm. He got a nice arm. He looks like an athlete. I mean, he reminds me of Romo, and that's a really good comp. Romo, if you go look at Tony Romo's final stats in his career, he's a strong B-plus or a weak A- quarterback. Cincinnati hadn't had that in a long time. This is a way better prospect than Baker, a way better prospect than Andy Dalton. This morning, I think he's a better prospect than Sam Darnold, who I like, and better than Josh Allen. He's good. He's a good player. You got a player in Cincinnati. Joy with the news.
No.